Yo! Hello, hello! Can everyone hear me? And can you hear the music? Can you see the Bitcoin chart? The usuals? Loud and clear. Nice. How's everyone doing? All holding up well? We've had some nice price action on Bitcoin. Sad. Thanks for the warning, I just got some quick short profit. Hey, you love to see it, man. You love to see it. Yeah, I'm also still in some shorts. From the highs. We had a great entry up here. Initially we shorted too early, right? So plan was to wait for, well, to look for a sweep above last month's high and then to trade it back towards that flat monthly low, right? So I started shorting here already. Had tight stops, but I knew if I would catch the move that it would pay off. Initially got stopped out then on this move, but then reshorted with stops above the high, and then paid off big. So yeah, but we'll go in detail in a second. I'm just gonna wait a couple more minutes to allow for some people to join, and then we'll get started. We'll do Bitcoin, maybe take a look at some alts, but will probably be a shorter stream. Just quickly want to give my thoughts on the market, since yeah, we saw some downside, right? And from last week's stream, when was it, on Tuesday, on Thursday or on Friday, our plans played out beautifully, honestly. So yeah, let me give you my current view, what I'm seeing, and how I'm planning on playing it. Curve has been absolutely hammered on this drop. Let's see. Damn. I mean, it's no surprise, right? It's been pumping a lot the last couple weeks, and it's right at high time frame resistance. So are you surprised if you see this? Could offer a nice trade if it sweeps some lows, but it's a difficult one. Difficult invalidation. Are you still in the silver trade? I bought silver, yes. It's more like a longer term hold, not really a trade for me, just like gold. But yes. Right, let's see what we have here. Where do we even start? Let me quickly grab a chart from... All right. Cool. Let's get started. First thing I want to say is thanks to Blowfin for sponsoring the streams. You can use the link in the description to make an account on Blowfin. They have a lot of pairs, a lot of altcoins to trade. I currently trade on Blowfin as well. Currently still trading that 10K account that we started a couple months ago, which is going great. I post all of the trades I take live in my Discord, The Hunt. If you want to join the Discord, it is completely free. I'm not asking for any money. All I'm asking is to use the link and to trade on my link. All right. So if you want to check it out, head over to the description. There's a link to join the Discord as well. If you made an account and made a deposit, you can use the bot in the Discord to get the role, and then you will be able to see all of the channels and to see more analysis of me. I post more videos in there, go live sometimes privately for the Discord as well. So yeah, if you want to check it out, you don't have to, of course, but all of the info is in the description. Leave a like on the stream. We have 65 people watching at the moment, which is amazing. So let's get the likes to 30 at least. Subscribe if you haven't already. Trying to grow. Still have the 10K objective. So if you could subscribe if you haven't already, that would be awesome as well. Now, let's get into the charts. Some very interesting and clean price action, in my opinion, from last week's. So, what were we watching? When was it? Last week. I think last stream was on Thursday or Friday. So when we were starting to pump here, right? Yeah, we were trading up here actually already. And what did we say, right? We were watching the monthly, right? I'm not gonna go over it all again, but if you were here, I'm sure you will remember. You can go watch the previous stream if just for learning, for educational purposes. You can go watch back and see what I said back there. What did we say? That the monthly wasn't looking healthy. We didn't have a wick to the downside, right? On every candle that we have, especially on the daily, the weekly, and the monthly, we want to be looking for a wick to the upside and a wick to the downside on most candles. And if we don't have one of them, we can use that information to form trades on the lower time frames, right? That's what we had on the monthly on Bitcoin. We didn't have a wick to the downside. We opened the monthly open, right? We opened the new monthly candle and instantly shot up to the upside, right? And swept our previous monthly high, which is this level right here. When you have a situation like that, for me at least, there's a high probability that price will return to the flat bottom and that you will be trading lower at some point in that same candle, which is of course within the same month, okay? So that was sort of the thought process that we had on why we were looking for shorts. Where Where we're looking for shorts, well, what we used for that was the range EQ of the candle, the order block, right? The supply area, whatever you want to call it, of this candle right here. The last upside candle before we broke down and before we saw all of the downside sub 90k. Whenever price returns to that area, you can expect that to be resistance, right? Now it might seem like hindsight, but go watch the previous stream and you will see I said exactly the same. We were looking for resistance around this range EQ. Not blindly because it's the mid-range of this candle, but also if you look on the daily, there has been pivotal price action within that, around that mid-range, around that level in general. So it's just been a very pivotal area in general. Also, the most recent sweep that led to the breakdown was the one that happened right here. And often when you get that, the last sweep before breaking a lot lower, that area in general, which is this sideways price action, was a sideways price action that led to all of this, telling us people were accumulating shorts in this area, and whenever price returns to that area, you can expect it to be resistance. All right. So that's what we were watching, and then we what did we say? Well, combining this resistance level together with the previous monthly candle high, which is April high, getting swept, and the flat monthly bottom that we had, which was unswept, so unswept lows, we said that we were looking for shorts. Okay, so initially, as I said, I shorted too early. I shorted on this move, and I kept my stops pretty tight, right above the low, right above the high. Why did I do that? Because I knew that if price wanted to trade higher, not only from here but also from here, it could be aggressive and it could really trade a lot higher. But I also knew that if we would break back below April high, that there was a high chance that we would actually trade towards that flat monthly low and that I would have a pretty decent risk to reward. Okay, so I entered, like, I'm not sure exactly what it was, but I had it on the chart when I started the stream, but I removed it. But it was something like this with a tight stop there, and then, I don't know, targeting somewhere there, maybe even a little tighter. Got stopped out, okay, but then saw weakness after we got rejected here. Almost got stopped out again, but we failed to go for the highs again. The sweep of this into that range mean to the tick, right? And once again, might seem like hindsight at the moment, but please go watch that previous stream and you'll see that's the exact level that I was talking about. So we swept not only last month's high, which was this high, we also swept local highs into that key level and got rejected. Okay, so that's when I posted in the Discord that I was re-shorting like this, shorted like right here with stops above the high. If you check on the lower time frames, was on the 50-minute time frame, was more like this, right? And stops there, and it played out beautifully, right? So once again, why the tight stop? Well, because I knew if price was going to move in the right direction that it would pay off, and it did pay off. I took a stop out on the first one, but the second one paid beautifully. We were targeting the flat monthly low as a main target, right? Because that was the real draw on price, as we didn't have a wick to the downside. But how low would we sweep? Well, nobody knows, of course, and we never know. But being this close to these equal lows right here and an unswept low right here, I did hold some of my shorts, because either we're gonna bounce from here after sweeping that flat monthly low, and we're gonna hold Monday low from here and see higher prices, or I think we're off to these lows, and at that point I don't think we we leave this one unswept as well. So then I think we just go for both of them. If I was only in Bitcoin shorts, I would have likely fully closed this out. But as I said, I'm in shorts at the moment from up here with stops currently at break even. So it's just a nice hedge. And I just longed some altcoins. Yeah, in case we start pumping from here, then those will pay as well, right? I'll gladly take a stop out break even on the remainder of my shorts, because like it's only like 15 to 20% that is left, as I said, and I'm targeting these lows first. There I'll close half again, and then I'll be fully out of shorts if we ever reach this. But as it's looking at the moment, right, we swept Monday low, and it's looking good. But yeah, more about that later. But anyways, that was the previous play from the highs to the lows, using that monthly candle and knowing that we didn't have a wick to the downside, combining that with lower time frame sweeps, right, into key resistance. That gave us the trigger. Shorted, main target was that flat monthly low, but clean lows below could be swept as well. We took our gains, most of them. We took our profits, and now we'll see what it does. Okay. So going forward, what are the plans now, right? Well, as I said, if I wasn't in Bitcoin shorts, or I was just playing the Bitcoin chart, I'd likely have closed all of it, because we swept Monday low, right? We swept Monday low into the range low level of that monthly order block, right, which is also just a pivotal level, as you can see here to the tick, but also here you can see on the monthly that it's gonna have clean price action around it, and initially it reacted as support here. Now Monday low swept slightly and bounced, yeah, fairly strong. I think it's safe to say fairly strong bounce. But for me, what are the only levels that matter? So let me clean up the chart a bit. This. 1 second. Posted this chart on Twitter this morning as well, as this level would be last week's low. So basically, what are the levels we're currently trapped in between? Last month's high. On the weekly, that got... No, that's not. Yeah, it is. Last month's high. On the weekly, that got swept. And we closed back inside. And, in my opinion, last week's low. So that's why I think that the bottom could not yet be in on this move. And that we could still see a scam move, like something like this. Then everyone calling for new highs. But they forget that our key resistance is gonna be the supply up here, where we started dumping from, where we broke back below last month's high. So that level is gonna be key. Liquidity above Monday high, grab that, smash it back below, and at that point I could still see a move towards last week's low. From there, like, it could be one of those up, distribution, down, right? So be careful. I personally don't see the full bull scenario here at the moment, but like a lot of times that could change in a single daily candle, right? If Bitcoin decides to reclaim this and trade up here and close some 4-hour candles above here, show strength, yeah, then at that point I think all bears are gonna get liquidated and we'll rip for 100k. All right, but so if you ask me what do you think is next, I would just say chop in between resistance right here, and hopefully we get a sweep of that last week's low, and then see some strength. Right now we slightly swept Monday low, and there is some strength coming in, but in my opinion it would have been better if we would have swept this while we were at it and then saw the strength, because at that point we would have taken last month's high, we would have taken last week's low, and that's high time frame liquidity, which is why we would have more strength to get that break above here and see 100k from there. Because right now we failed to sweep last week's low, so in my opinion the chances increase that we just sweep Monday high but fail to break above last month's high, fail to have the strength and just break back below, and at that point maybe even see the move towards last week's low. Is that clear? What do you think about Bitcoin dominance? I think it's a meme. Looks like a Head and Shoulders. I personally don't use those, but patterns are price action as well, you know. And indeed, it's like what I'm drawing here. How I trade is a key high being made, a sweep of that key high, and then potentially a retest. How other people see it as a head and shoulders, right? So yeah, possible. Thoughts on FOMC tomorrow? Well, on all of the things that I just said, I wouldn't be surprised if it's gonna be a wick to the upside and a wick to the downside, and then trade within last month's high and last week's low again. And as I said, a break and hold above here would send us a lot higher. A break and a hold below here could really send us back towards somewhere around here, 88k. Like, so many people who were bearish here at the lows, right? Oh, we're going lower, are now flipping bullish. And I mean, we saw a rally from 75 to 90, close to 100k actually, to 98 almost. So it makes sense. We see some downside here, right? Locally, but why not do this and then build a new range here and then send it higher and then go from there? Prices barely just rip straight to through resistance area straight to new highs. Stream is lagging. Is it still lagging, or I'm not sure why. Hello, hello. Not lagging. Yeah, anyways, maybe try reloading or something, I don't know. Okay. So yeah, is that clear for everyone? Like, you see these lows, right? We don't have to take them. There's been instances where we front ran those lows as well, but I just don't feel comfortable longing Bitcoin here with these clean lows and without reclaiming last month's high. And how I like to play it then, personally, is I'm not gonna long Bitcoin. I'm not gonna add to shorts on Bitcoin, because I could see a scenario where this happens. So what do I usually do then is just look for cleaner setups on altcoins and look to long the stronger altcoins. And that's exactly what I did. So I'm still in shorts on Bitcoin from up here, like I said, barely any size left, like 15%. Stops at break even. And I added longs. The first one on inch is this one. So let me explain. Basically, what I've been watching as we were trading higher towards this high, obviously what was the draw going to be on this one? Well, this weekly high up here, okay? As you guys know, I always like targeting weekly liquidity, and we just took those lows, so the target is gonna be on this high up here, purely on weekly liquidity. Moving to the daily, what did we see? Well, we made this low, bounced to this high, came back to the low, swept the low aggressively, reclaimed it, some ugly price action, but then bullish price action close towards that high and set up a new range, right? The lows, the highs, sorry, got swept. The lows, what was I watching? Well, let's make it a little cleaner with the range. I am gonna take this low, and I'll explain why. As you can see, mid-range pivotal here. Yeah, that's it. So, what was I watching? We came very close to that weekly high up here on these moves, but build a new range with a high, made a low, swept the highs, and then rejected, started trading around mid-range again. What was I watching? Well, eyes on the lows, right there and right there. What were we looking for? A sweep of those lows into pivotal price action. If you just look at this blue area, how many times that we've traded there, here, sideways price action here, then acting as resistance, flipped into support, or just generally price action there. If you zoom out to the 12 hour, you're gonna see order block, whatever you want to call it, just an area of pivotal price action, swept the lows. So what am I looking for now? A reclaim, ideally already flip the daily green, and then upside towards range mean again, range high, and then ultimately that weekly liquidity up there. Invalidation, right? If we don't see the reclaim and we keep bleeding lower in this area, then I'll likely cut. So I want to see a reclaim either today or tomorrow and strength above here in order for me to hold this. But you get the idea. High swept, low swept, key area. The next draw on liquidity would be up there. And if you look at it from a weekly perspective, come on, trading view is slow again. Why? Yeah, what I'm also wanted to say, why take, let me do it like this. Why take this low as a range low and not that one? Well, that's because this low is also weekly low, right? So if you take this low, this one right here, and you zoom out to the weekly, you're gonna see that it's gone. It's only this low that's left. So that's weekly liquidity as well. And as you can see, we just swept that range low, this low, which is a weekly low. So if we see strength now, a reclaim of that low, and together with that, let's bring in some levels. We have a beautiful confluence around there with the daily open, the weekly open, and Monday low. So if we now smash back above there, that would confirm, in my opinion, that this was the sweep done. and then I'd be targeting Monday high, ideally reclaim the monthly open from there, and then it's off to weekly liquidity up there. Make sense? So that's what I'm in. I'm currently in longs on this one. And then another one I longed was Kaito. I also like the chart on that one, but another reason I longed it was because it was just very strong in general. On the previous hourly we rejected pretty hard, but as you can see we're back in the green again. General ID for this one on the daily, right? You don't need a lot of levels to have a clean plan. You had this weekly low right here, got swept, reclaimed, now retest, and into that retest you see lower time frame lows, got swept, reclaimed, retested, beautiful level, right? So where is the next draw on liquidity gonna be? The opposite side of this low, which is this high. So that's gonna be the first target, and at that point, in my opinion, retest, because that would mean break in market structure. So retest and continuation towards that daily high up there. And then we'll see if it sweeps this and rejects, likely way more ranging. If it closes above here, then the retest is likely a buy, targeting all of this liquidity up there. Makes sense? Hello from France. Bonjour, bonjour. Where will you enter inch? I'm already in, already longed. And I love trading setups like this because also if you see that reclaim, right? I now have wide stops, but if you see that reclaim, you can trail your stops because that gives you a new invalidation. Trail stops back below here, maybe even add. If you start bleeding below them again, cut it. If you see the retest hold and you trade higher, happy days, right? So that's basically what I'm watching. If Bitcoin rips higher from here, which it definitely might do, I definitely see a sweep Monday high from here, by the way. It's not because I'm in shorts from the highs that I'm bearish or anything. We just swept Monday low, so the next logical draw on the low time frame at least would be Monday high, right? But just still being cautious as we swept last month's high and have an unswept last week's low. And as you guys know, high time frame liquidity always above low time frame liquidity. So use those high time frame highs and lows as draws and use the low time frame highs and lows as entries. All right. So if you rip from here, yeah, then alts will, my alts, probably all alts will likely do good as well. Those longs will print. And if we don't and we bleed lower, yeah, then my altcoins will as well, probably. But then at least I still have some of my short left, which I'll close down here. We'll do requests at the end. Front running lows, very bullish in my opinion. This is a bull market, not a crab market. I mean, yeah, if you say so. Is this a bull market? I don't know. All people, everyone always wants to know, is this a bull market? Is this a bear market? Like, if you're a trader, just trade a chart and it doesn't matter, you know. Just trade it up and down. But yeah, I agree, it's definitely looking good. We also reclaimed the weekly open, so we could front run this low for sure. But we'll see at last month's high. Reclaim there, and yeah, we're probably gonna send hard. But yeah. As I said, I'm also fully into spot. I almost have no USDT left. So for me, like, just send it to new highs, man. I'll be happy, man. Any more questions on Bitcoin, Inch, or Kaito? Leave a like, by the way, if you're enjoying the stream. We have 80 people, 20 likes. Let's get some more likes. Did you cover Sol by any chance? Nope, we only did those two and Bitcoin at the moment. So let's take a look at some more altcoins. BNB I still like. You know my thoughts on this one. I'm holding spot. I think it's a safe spot hold to target a lot higher. Low time frame, yeah, we're just still ranging in between these lows and these highs. So I'm not gonna trade it on margin, just buying spot and holding. Oh yeah, Sui. We were long on this yesterday, but closed it at break even because I wanted to see what Bitcoin was going to do. It was looking a bit rough. Oh yeah, and Sonic will also cover. Did a really nice trade on that one as well. So Sui was looking very good here after the reclaim, in my opinion. But then Bitcoin started looking nah. So I closed break even, luckily, because I would have taken a stop out. Otherwise, sometimes it's just about following your gut feeling, you know. But yeah, I'm still bullish on this one. High time frame, of course. We have the weekly where we can mark out last week's low. So that could now mean be a good entry, in my opinion. If we do something like this, boom, low time frame consolidation here. So sweep that low in there, reclaim, and then send it back to the highs. So that would be the plan I'd be watching now. If we rip from here, likely not a lot of strength as we have some equal lows here. I think, yeah, a sweep of that low would be better. So something like that. But then still targeting high time frame supply up here. As you can see, together with OTE and that monthly ugly high here. I think that could need a sweep as well. So yeah, we'll see. So Sonic, we did a nice trade. Basically, I was watching this for a couple of weeks already. Initially, I was watching it, not sure if it was here or here, but I really liked this aggressive sweep and this beautiful reclaim. So I was always looking for a move towards these highs as a swing trade. Never entered ultimately. But then we did this and I saw the retrace. So then I thought, we have clean lows here, pivotal price action around these levels. The opposite side, these highs are unswept, and we just reclaimed this and retested this. So I zoomed in, low time frame. What did I see? Remove all of that. Even going on the hourly. So we were trading right here. Low time frame, we had consolidation, sweep, reclaim, and I mean showing strength, right? Strong close from there. So that's when I decided. I had a clean invalidation because we had our weekly and daily open resting at the same level at that point, of course, since it was Monday. We deviated or swept quickly below it and then smashed back above it. So that's when I pulled the trigger into, so because it was into this high time frame pivotal area, range low level, blah blah blah, whatever you want to call it. We had untapped low time frame 4 hours supply resting up here together with OTE, came down fast, right? So often when you come down this fast, you at least get a bounce of resistance, and things can go fast up as well. So that gave me the setup, right, to look for longs here with a validation below here, and target was at that point yesterday high, which is now Sunday high, of course, flat top into that 4-hour supply, and that played out beautifully. So I took off half here, took off not sure, I think it was 25% there, and then half of what I had left in this area, brought stops to break even in case we would have done something like this and ripped a lot higher for the target that I just explained, because I still think there's a good chance that we trade towards that daily high. So gave it a chance, right, to allow for us to break higher, but 4-hour supply rejected us pretty heavily. So yeah, I got stopped out at break even, but overall still a really nice trade. So that was a good one as well. Hype. Yeah, still same thoughts. Low time frame. I think we do get another sweep of the highs, but higher time frame, there's gonna be a lot of resistance, I feel like, in this OTE area. Right, you have this sideways price action, so that's simply gonna be key resistance. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do something like this and then cool off and come back down here. If not, and we do this and we break higher, then likely squeeze to here and all the way up here. So that's gonna be a key level. If you draw your range from the lows to the highs, you're gonna see its range mean as well. So definitely huge resistance there. But yeah, low time frame, clean highs and low swept, so yeah. Let's see. ETH still ranging. Similar thoughts to Bitcoin. Like, I am targeting up here, and ultimately all the way up here for ETH, because we closed the monthly very good in my opinion. But at the moment we're trading below the monthly open, below the weekly open, and we have these clean lows resting down here. So for this one, I'd like to see something like this. Maybe spend some time here, maybe not, and then see strength. And then I do think we have the strength to trade higher, but not from here. I mean, this screams distribution to me, so I think lower. What else do we have? On this one, I was looking for a sweep there, but was already acting weak and then Bitcoin dumped, so that trade ID got invalidated pretty quickly. For now, yeah, not really interested. I'd like to see strength first. Still a clean range though. Maybe for a bounce play, if you get it all the way down here, something like this. But not the cleanest at the moment. Tau is pretty damn clean as well, since it has clean highs to the upside and the lows here got swept and retested. So what's the daily saying? Yeah, I like this. Clean highs up here as well. Maybe if we reclaim this, it's off to there and there. Let's see. If inch reclaims Monday low, but Bitcoin reaches Monday high and back to Monday low, would you still enter the trades? I mean, I'm already in, but indeed, it's always good to look at Bitcoin, what Bitcoin does, if Bitcoin's at a key level, before deciding to add. Probably then I wouldn't add and I just trail stops and see what it does. S&P looking good as well. Gold and silver looking very strong. Still same thoughts on silver. I think this will surprise many people and rip very hard, but we'll have to see. Ripple, yeah, I don't know about this one. Also still in the same range. Not really interested. Ondo. Ondo, we said, right, I remember we said up here that we weren't interested since we swept key highs and got rejected. And I'm still watching the same move towards these lows, right? This was the, so if you think about these highs getting swept, what were the highs? Well, here. This was the lows getting swept. What lows? Here. So that's your clean range set. You could use this instead. Like this. So what would I be watching? Either a reclaim of range high, right? Because if this was the bearish sweep that leads to lower, any retest of range highs should hold. Or a sweep of these equal lows into range low demand, and at that point send it, target range high if you reclaim range high all the way up here. But for now, middle of nowhere. Sol. Yeah, we liked it when it did this, right? That was a nice sweep, but what is concerning is that we didn't get any follow through. Instead, we swept some lower time frame highs here and have been bleeding ever since. And why I don't like it is because if this is the sweep that shows strength, you should see continuation. And if you just bleed into the wick again, then the first thing is it's gonna have a high probability that it sweeps the wick again, but it can also bleed a lot lower from there. So not sure about this one. Maybe also back to like here, just like Ethereum, right? Much lower and then much higher. So yeah, overall, I don't know. I am bullish on the monthly, but a monthly candle takes a long time to form, right? Even you can even have a couple of months that are sideways before you see the actual move, right? And I am bullish on the monthly, but that doesn't mean I'm straight up bullish and longing everything, thinking everything's gonna break out. So I do think even on the daily that we need some retraces on some coins. Sol is a good example. ETH as well. Yeah, if they do it, probably coins like BNB, why not do something like this and then trade higher, you know? And yeah, if of course if Bitcoin does that and those alts do it, every alt will retrace. But I don't think that would be too bad of a thing. Just build more strength and then see the real push to the upside. So my best advice, take it easy, trade lower time frame moves on margin, take profit as soon as you have it, be aggressive in profit taking on margin, and then for spot, I mean, I'm already in from the lows. But yeah, buy dips, right? If you get another aggressive sell-off, it's for buying, in my eyes at least. I can always be wrong, but that's what I'm seeing. All right. gonna end it here. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you leave a like, subscribe once again. I will be in the Discord, of course, posting more analysis over the week. We'll do another live stream next week, public live stream at least. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. Take it easy, manage your risk, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.